So I got into the contra dancing shortly after it started. I don't think I was at the first one, for sure, but shortly after that, and I got hooked like right away. And I ended up going down to the States to the NEFA dance and dance for on a regular basis, and started doing some other out-of-town dances. And part of that was because one dance a month that Catherine was doing just wasn't enough for me. And I started bugging Catherine about having dance for on a regular basis and doing 2 dances a month, like trying to get her to organize one, and she didn't want to have anything to do with that. So eventually, after talking to a few other people and trying to get somebody else to run another dance series, I took it on, and ended up having a meeting with a few people and talking. We had our first dance on November 7th of 1998, and Shindigo was built up to do the sound or do the music. And my goal when I started off was to have a different color and a different band for every dance. And the first 2 years that I ran the dance, I only had the Shindigo and Pippa Hall calling, because it was way easier to have the same band and same color show up all the time. But after that, I started getting other bands and colors. My very first dance that I ran, I went out and got all the sound equipment, had to rent it, and brought it in, set it up, got the band and everybody in place. And 5 minutes before the dance was supposed to start, I think I had like 2 people that had come into the hall that actually paid to come in. And I was beginning to wonder whether it would actually happen with just, like, nobody was there, essentially. By 8 o'clock when the dance started, we had enough people to make a line. And by about 15 minutes after 8, I had about 70 people in the hall. So I think that was a success. But it was a little stressful to start with. So I don't have a list of all the different bands and colors I had, but I had a wide variety of people show up. Shisha and Lotus here were one that came in later in my time running the dances. One of the interesting things that I did was on December 31st, 2005, turned out to be a Saturday, and I figured, why not have a dance? And so for a couple months before that, I sold tickets to my New Year's Eve dance. And I don't know if the hall at the All Saints knew that I was going to be going past midnight, but we did anyway. And it turned out to be a very well-attended dance, and everybody had lots of fun. We had our toast at midnight and counted down the seconds. So that was one of the interesting things. And then later in 2007, Dee Lynn, in an effort to help me recoup some losses that I was incurring, had a Guess Who's Coming to Dinner event that she put on. And she organized a whole pile of people to have dinner at some random person's house, and they wouldn't find out until like the last minute where they were going. And the host didn't know who was going to be showing up at their house either, right? The problem is that I was setting up my dance that night, so I couldn't participate in that in any way. So my parents came to my house and cooked a dinner for some random people that showed up. So there was a party at my house, but I wasn't invited. But that's how I got into it. And I did my dances for about 11 years before merging with the Ottawa Dance series. So I guess back to you, Catherine, to go on about that.